Hey guys, what's up? Green Machine Sam back with another video. And if you guys are new here, my name is Green Machine Sam. This is the content I do. I do Madden rebuilds, NBA 2K rebuilds. I do roster updates. I do all types of stuff on Madden 2K, Rainbow, GTA, all that type of stuff. If you see me play a game on my PlayStation account, I might make a video out of it, or I might have a clipper here too about what I'm playing. So with this being said, this is season 2 of the New England Patriots rebuild. We made a lot of moves. A lot of guys are gone. The only thing that's really intact from season 1 is the offensive line. Basically, every receiver is gone. Every running back is basically gone. Fullback and quarterback have been redesigned. Tight end has basically been redesigned. The only guys really still here are going to be those long snappers and third string options. So really, the only thing that's still here is this offensive line, and it's not a bad group. I think the worst person here is probably Isaiah Wynn, just because he's so small and because he has some injury problems. But outside of O-line being pretty good, nothing else is really great. Defensive line is okay now that we brought in Ioannidis and Gary. Cornerback group has always been an above average situation in New England, I would say. I'm not going to start Duggar. I'm not going to start Kyle Duggar. He just isn't as good as you would like him to be, especially for his age. And this is something I've always said, is that somebody being a 70 and coming out of college at like 21 years old is better than somebody coming out at 23 and being 74 years old. I mean 74 overall, because you have 2 more years to develop that guy. And I don't know, I just feel like your skill set has to be higher when you come out of college later. Did bring in guys like Cordell Patterson, John Ross, and multiple other guys to help out this team. Remember, not all these guys are going to be guys that are going to be here in 5 years and going to be superstars. A lot of these guys are going to be just stepping stones, getting me to the next, step in progression, getting me to that, promised land, hopefully. So, I think this isn't a great team. I don't expect to make the playoffs. I can tell you that much right now. It just has too many holes. Safety is still a problem with us, with Devin McCourty probably retiring soon. The linebackers are okay at best. Running back is running back by committee, which in Madden does not work. And then that O-line is taking up a lot of money. I have to sign Wynn this season. I have to sign J.C. Jackson, Stephon Gilmore, Shaq Mason, Joe Tooney, and David Andrews all have decent-sized contracts. So this is probably one of the signs that I kind of wish I didn't do. Looking back at it now, he just never developed. And I love Isaiah Wynn because he's from Georgia, and Georgia's my favorite school. Now, you may be saying, wow, you have some weird list of teams. I do. I really do. But Avery Williamson, a 5th for Willie Gay, and a 3rd. This just gets us a backup linebacker. I didn't want Avery Williamson just sitting here rotting on the bench, so I decided I'm going to ship him off. I just want a little bit in return. So I got Willie Gay as a backup, and I got a 3rd-round pick. I'm perfectly fine with that. But going 5-2 in only our technically first season taking over as the head coach, even though I'm just pretending I'm Bill Belichick at this point, is very, very good. And not having to bring anybody else back outside of the 3 that we've already signed is also very great. Being the 6th seed, taking on the Tennessee Titans here in the wild card round. So we would have made the playoffs either way in last year's format or this year's format. And it's kind of weird now. You sometimes you sit there at the 2nd seed and you're like, wow, I'm the 2nd seed. I'm going to get a playoff, bye. Nope, you're playing. And you can get upset quite a few times. So, and apparently Devin is thinking about retiring, leaving the team, which is understandable. They're going into a rebuild, so I would even expect Devin McCourty, if the money's not completely there, to retire soon, as well as Jason McCourty. We end up getting some guys on the Pro Bowl team. Tooney, Andrews, Mason. So we got some of our offensive linemen, which is great to see, like I said. I don't remember if we got anybody else. We got Sidney Jones on there, so as a slot corner, he got on there. Devin McCourty got on there. That's nice to see. It's always nice to see when your guys perform well and they get on the Pro Bowl list. Zach Wilson, 4,100 yards, 25 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Interceptions is not the greatest. Touchdowns need to be up if they're going to be that high. And like I said, running game, just you can't form a running game by committee in this game. You really can't. Or you're going to have 3.5 yards per carry, basically, as an average for your team. Now, the touchdowns aren't terrible, but average has to be over 4. And that's something I think Madden needs to develop, is that just because I don't have a superstar running back doesn't mean I can't run the ball efficiently. Odell Beckham, over 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. Kenny Galladay, 900 yards, 7 touchdowns. Brevin Jordan, 869 yards, 4 touchdowns. Terrence Marshall, 666 yards, 3 touchdowns. Cordell Patterson, 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. So, not a bad year from my guys, especially when I'm only paying my top 2 wide receivers a combined total of $1.1 million a year. So that's very, very good. Michael just couldn't hold up on that right side, but then again, it's Madden, so they're going to fuck over the tackles every single time, and they're also going to fuck over the whole entire offensive line every single time. 103 tackles for Anzalone, 99 for Brooks, and 91, was it, for Fon Gilmore. Chase Winovich with 15 tackles for loss. Ioannidis with 11. Gary with 10. Blacklock with 10. Anzalone with 7. Gilmore and Jones combined for 6. Well, they get 6 apiece, as well as Amenahue also gets 6 in there. Ioannidis with 6.5 sacks. Jordan Brooks with 3.5. Chase Winovich with 3. Rashawn Gary 2. Anzalone with 2. Blacklock with 1.5. McKinley with 1.5. David Sills and Jennings get 1 each as well, and the Walker and Amenahue and Gilmore all split sacks with somebody. Interceptions here, Sidney Jones gets 4, Brooks gets 3, Gilmore gets 3, Burgess gets 2, J.C. Jackson gets 1. So we were causing a decent amount of turnovers, nothing spectacular, nothing to write a poem about, but hey, second year, I'm not disappointed. I'm really not. We played better than I think we should have. I think we played better than anybody expected us to. With a rookie QB, a running back committee group, a wide receiving core that has no chemistry yet, linebackers that are shaky at best. So, kicking, Will Lutz comes in, performs. This is our kicker of the future for a very long time. He's very good, and we're going to keep him around because, you know, we did sign him to a $550K contract, so he's going to be staying for a while. And then Jake Bailey, 1 blocked punt, almost 50-yard net average, which is very, very good to see. 11 times inside the 20, 14 touchbacks. Would like to see the touchbacks down below the 10 mark. No kick or punt return touchdowns here to see, which isn't bad, by the way. It's hard enough to get a punt or kick return in the NFL, you know, so I can't be completely mad. Nobody in MVP. We went, I think, 10-6 this year, and we didn't even beat out Matt Nagy, who went 8-8, which was kind of disappointing for Coach of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year, nowhere to be found. Defensive Player of the Year, nowhere to be found. Offensive Rookie of the Year. The top 4 quarterbacks were all in the AFC. There's no way Zach Wilson was winning that, especially if, and then Brevin Jordan at 10, especially if, you know, he's playing underneath the Patriot system. Dante Stills at 10 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. DeMar Johnson and Devin McCourty retire after 12 and 13 years, respectively. We do end up trading Joejuan Williams for Cameron Curl from the Washington football team. Going after Jair Alexander, J.J. Watt, Mark Andrews, Harrison Smith, Marlon Mack, Romeo Quara. Both Mark Andrews and Jair Alexander are going to get contracts. James Daniel on a $550K contract. That is probably one of the biggest needs that we have. If we can get a O-Lineman on a cheap deal, I think we could be in a good state. David Njoku, Jamal Williams, Kerryon Johnson, just getting some running backs that can hopefully help us. And this is just another year of let's bring in as many guys that I think can be good backups for us and just ultimately be good players for us and help us take that next step. Rashawn Gary, I'm not going to pick up his 5th-year option. I don't feel like paying him like a top 10 guy. but I will re-sign him. N'Keal Harry, no, I'm not re-signing him. He just doesn't develop well in this. If you're not a slot guy, you don't develop well in this. Unless you're starting them at number 1 or if they're in the slot, they don't develop well. So we do end up getting Mark Andrews, Harrison Smith, James Daniels, Jamal Williams, Kerryon Johnson, Auden Tate. James Daniels is going to be a big one. Trey Herndon, Gage, Samuels, Galloway, Hollister, White. But with this, we're going to be taking our successor to Devin McCourty, Joe Warner, hopefully. Hopefully he can come in, be that guy. And we need him. The other safety position is still lacking, and Trent Hill, next guy. 6'2", 233 pounds, 22 years old, run stopper out of Oklahoma State. He looks like a good all-around guy. He just needs to develop as a pass coverage guy. Baxton Richard, he looks like the best offensive lineman available. Gonna take him. He's 6'6". He has a star depth trait at minimum. Dom Means was a good running back here in the late second round. He was a first round guy. Felt like taking him. Felt like getting an extra guy. Cliff Colbert here, number 35 in the class, took him at 90. So this class is decently deep, and that's something that is always good to see. Juan Reddick, we're going to bring in a second tight end behind Brevin Jordan. Jamie Bonds as well. Going to bring him in as another special teams guy, probably backup linebacker for his career. But hey, better be a backup than not be in the NFL, right? Donovan Kincaid, he just was good value. I didn't feel like trading away the pick. Figured, why not take a shot, see if he's worth anything. Malik Harper as well, 67 in the class, took him at 154. He's a 6'9" power rusher. We need those. And we're going to trade a 6 and a 7 of this year and a 6 of next year for 4 of next year. Just getting some value for pieces that we don't need. So we solidify our tight end group with Andrews and Brevin Jordan and Reddick in the past 2 years. Harrison Smith, Jerron Davis, and a second for Jonathan Taylor. We need a running back. He looked like a very good young running back that was all around. I wish he would have been that overall when we got him in Panthers franchise. Gus Edwards, Kerryon Johnson, and N'Keal Harry for a first from the Bengals. They wanted that stuff, so I gave it to him. David Long, Holton Hill, and a fifth for a first and Nawada, because, money, of course. Why not? 3 firsts for a top 4 pick from the Broncos. Don't remember exactly what I was doing with this pick, but trading Tyus Bowser and Jennings for a first and a running back to clear up cap space. So, McMillan, White, and a third for a first of the Falcons. I don't love trading away guys that I just signed, but I realized that I had like 75 guys, and most of them weren't making it, so I just decided, fuck it, I'm just going to give them to teams that actually need them. Thuney, Robinson, and for Stewart and O'Donnell. Blacklock and Uche for a first, and guys for cap reason. Jack Mason, a third, and a third for a first and cap. So, and then we're going to get rid of David Andrews, Willie Gay, and a top 10 pick for Fletcher Cox and a first overall pick from the Philadelphia Eagles. I think it ended up turning out to be number 6. John Ross and Jack Doyle for pick number 11 in next year's draft. With that being said, guys, if you guys like my content, enjoy my content, or respect any of my content, download any of my rosters, anything like that, I would appreciate a subscribe or a like or a comment or just views consistently on videos. But with that being said, I'm out. Peace. I'll see you guys in the next video.